What is going on, guys? This is KNasty3090 here. Welcome back to the MLB 19 The Show franchise video. Today we're doing an experiment to figure out the most important attribute for pitchers. I have gone out and created 5 pitchers. I did a pitcher with 50 hits per 9, 50 Ks per 9, 99 walks per 9, 50 home runs per 9, and 50 clutch. Pretty sure clutch doesn't really matter for any of this, so I didn't even focus on making a clutch person. But Stanima's 99, control, velo, break are all 99 for all these pitchers. All his pitches are at 99 for everything, fastball, curveball, changeup. All of these pitchers are the same. So this pitcher, last name is Walks. His walks per 9 is 99. Herb Hits, his last name is Hits because his hits per 9 is at 99, as you can see. George Home Run, as you can see, everything's at 50, but then his home runs are at 99 per 9. Michael Strikeout, as you can see, his strikeout's at 99, and then Steve Control, he's my control subject where everything's at a 50. Now, like I said, all these pitchers have the same pitches, fastball, curveball, changeup. All of them are 21 years old. All of them have the same potential at 80. Injuries are off. I want to see what is the most important attribute. Now, if this video does help you out, guys, with your franchises, do me a solid. Just drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. Now, we did this last year and we found out walks per 9 was the most important. We're going to do at least like 2 or 3 seasons and we're going to just see how, which one is. Is walks per 9 still the most important? It is based off overall. So walks per 9 makes his overall a 77. Now, maybe it's because his bunting is higher or fielding, maybe, I don't know, but strikeout 76, home runs is 75, hits is 74. The control is obviously going to be the lowest because it does not have anything above a 50. But let's sim the year and see how they did and see, for the first year, which one's the most important. Alright, so the season's over. I have not looked at any of this. I purposely did not want to see. Let's take a look. So, walks per 9. Now his record, they all had 99 stamina. They did change a little bit throughout the year. I tried to make them as 80 potential. I thought that would change their overall as the least amount. But if you struggle or pitch well, things can go up or down. But he had a 3.35 ERA, which is really good. He had a 1.16 whip, 151 strikeouts, and 228 in the third innings. So that's a really good year. Now hits per 9, exact same ERA. He pitched 22 less innings. And that could be because of some things like he just walked too many. His pitch count got high and they had to take him out. His whip was a lot higher though, 1.16 to 1.3. So keep that in mind. But other than that, walks right now is the best. Hits is second. Home runs per 9, as you can tell, doesn't really, at least on the first year we didn't do much. He had a 5.2 ERA, a whip of 1.74. He struck out 120, which is, it's actually pretty good for the amount of innings he pitched, because he barely pitched compared to the other two. 185 compared to 228 and 206, but terrible ERA, terrible whip. Strikeouts per 9, 6.76 ERA, whip of almost 2. He did strike out 227 and 167 in 2/3 innings. He was not good. And then the control was actually better than the strikeout guy, where everything was the same, which that's just kind of weird. So after our first year, walks is the most important. Hits is right next to it, and then home runs per 9, strikeouts are really irrelevant, it looks like. But 1 year alone is not enough of a sample size, so I'm going to reload this save and do that year again and see what we come up with this time. Okay, so I just did that again, and let's take a look to see how they did. First off, walks per 9. Wow, his whip wasn't much different, but his ERA was like a run higher. So he could have just had some really bad outings. I don't know, but his ERA was 4.51. The hits per 9 was at 3.99, again higher. His whip was also higher than the walks. The home runs was 4.68, which is a little better. Strikeouts is still over 6, and the control was actually 4.05, which is really odd. So I'm going to do this again because it is confusing me a little bit. I think it's safe to say strikeouts per 9, well, it's nice that you strike out guys. You struck out 222 and 166 in the third innings. It doesn't produce value in terms of ERA or a whip, which makes sense. Yeah, striking out guys is nice, but if you don't know where it's going, you strike out 10 guys in 4 2/3, you give up 5 runs. Was that a good outing? No, you struck out a lot of guys, but you couldn't get through 5 innings. And I feel like that's what happens with this guy, even though he has 99 stamina, or 98 now. But, so I'm going to do this again and kind of see what happens. But right now, this does confuse me a little bit. Hits might be more important than walks per 9, so let's try it again. All right, we did it again. Let's take a look and see how it panned out. All right, so the walks per 9 again, this time was a little better with the ERA of 3.26, a whip of 1.21. He does get a lot of innings pitched. Hits had a 3.63 ERA. The whip was a little higher, 1.3. Again, good amount of innings pitched, but not as much as walks. I feel like walks is the best to produce most innings. Home runs per 9 of 4.63. Strikeout 6.3. He's consistent in the 6. And the controlled one is really weird that one's been doing so well. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that, but he's been actually run the best. We'll do it one more time, but it looks like it's really walks is number 1, hits is number 2, home runs is number 3, and strikeouts number 4. But let's do it one more time, just see if there's any outliers. All right, another one done. Let's take a look. And, all right, walks again. It's a little higher this time. But the whip is consistent, which I feel like what that means is not many men are getting on base. He's probably giving up more home runs, and like when his ERA is a little higher, yeah, he gave up 34 home runs, only walked 40. Hits was a 3.67 ERA. The whip was a little higher. Home runs 4.96. He gave up 24 home runs. The hits one gave up 30. The walks one gave up 34. Strikeout 5.66 ERA. It's new best. So I mean, if I had to pick, I still think walks is the most important. Hits is right behind it, though. That's another really important one. So if you can find a guy who has great hits and walks per 9, I think that's something amazing. In fact, I'm going to change something real quick. I'm going to make Steve Control. I'm going to do one more sim of this. I'm going to make his hits and his Ks per 9 at 99. Or his hits and his walks per 9 at 99, and then bring home runs and strikeouts down to 1 or 0, the lowest it can be. And kind of see how great of a pitcher he could be if we do that. So let me do that, and we'll see what the results of are that. Alright, so you can see here his overall is still exactly the same, which makes sense when you just think we added 49 to walks and hits per 9. We brought down home runs and Ks down by 50, so basically the same. But as you can see, though, he's a 64 overall, so I really want to see, with hits and walks at 99, how great of a pitcher is this guy going to be. So let's sim the year and see what happens. Alright, so that was done. Let's take a look and see how they did. Walks per 9, a 3.32 ERA, a 1.35 whip, pretty good. 3.32 for hits, so their ERA was exactly the same. I think they're basically the same. In fact, this is the first time I think hits had more innings pitched than the walks guy. Whip was actually lower on the hits. So I think either of those two are just as important. Home runs per 9, that was a bad year for the home runs per 9. The strikeout one, though, had a 3.99 ERA. Which is really good for him. Now, this is interesting. The control one had a 3.35 ERA, a 1.06 whip. That whip is great. So, literally, his home runs and hits did go up to 6. He ended up giving up 31 home runs. He only walked 40. He only struck out 68. Pitched 214 innings, but he's a 68 overall. He was a 64 overall to start the year. Basically, hits and walks are key for pitchers. If you see home runs and strikeouts, it's not bad to have, don't get me wrong, but I would not be looking for it. I would not pay for it if it's a free agent. Or when you're drafting a pitcher and you see they have great Ks and home runs per 9, just be aware that if their walks and hits are low, they may not be that good. Just keep that in mind. This is what the point of this exercise was. So you guys don't need to do this. I think it's pretty safe to say hits and walks per 9 are the most important attributes. Go out and find pitches like that. I might do even a video. If you guys want it, let me know in the comments down below. If you want me to go and find the best pitchers to use that are cheap for any of your franchises that are in the game, I'll try to find some if you just let me know in the comments down below. If this helped you out, please drop a like. Subscribe if you're new. I'll talk to you later, boys. Take it easy. Peace.